And hello to all my Capricorn friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for October 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Cappies, a four-corner spread. Four-corner spread is a great spread for general readings because it looks at those four main areas that people ask about in tarot anyways, which is the love corner, the ever-popular love corner, work corner, financial corner, and a little bit of health corner. We're going to take a stroll through all four of them today, guys, the four corners, see what's popping for your October, what they want to talk about and bring your awareness to. They've asked that I conclude your reading with a very fascinating one. I don't get to do this very often. It's very, very rare. In fact, it is messages from heaven. In fact, I know that it is going to be a male that is on the other end of our phone line here today. So there is a deceased male who is going to talk to one of my great Capricorns today. Maybe this message will make sense to a couple people, maybe just one, I have no idea, but that's a very fascinating one we'll conclude your reading with. Also going to do a Rune Stone, which I always do, go over your moon cycles, which we always do, and then get into some chemistry tracking, guys. See what Capricorn sign is vibing with well. What sign of the 12? Maybe other Capricorns. And we're also going to see which ones you're not vibing well with in the month of October. Maybe to stay away from that are going to just repel Capricorns a little bit there. So that's chemistry tracking for you guys. And then we're going to conclude your reading with homily, which is a little spiritual pep talk done by me. So we're ready to go, guys. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And now I'm going to bring you in my overhead so you can watch. I like to share my table with you and show you what is going on and what I'm working with. And we're on and recording. These are my ritual cuts, cutting each deck into thirds, then putting them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. And you are. If you guys are ready to have a great October, Cappies, hit that like button. Let me know it. Build that up. Capricorns have been down a little bit on the like, so we got to get that boosted up, guys. You can't let them do you like that. So this is your work corner up here. Work. And we got a big theme with the High Priestess. That's a major arcana card, so it's going to get two cards to describe it. And also major arcana cards. We got majors all around, so that is a big deal for a lot of you Cappies. We'll have to spend a lot of time on the work corner. Over here is love. Also a big theme. Okay, I see what they're doing here. And then down here, this is financial. Not a big theme. Still talkative, though. And then down here for health. Health corner. Health corner was short and sweet. Okay. Everything else, we got a lot of moving parts, lots to talk about and discuss. Since I have two major arcana cards in the driver's seats here, I need Oracle Angel cards to describe both of those. Check my inverts real quick. I don't think we have enough to matter for the whole thing. I'm just going to look individual stories or individual corners, so to speak, and those are also good. So these can all be uprighted here, the Oracle Angels. I don't read those upside down. The rest I do. So all the card work is done, guys. Let's just make sure you can see it. Up close and personal, this is work. Big deal. Down here, finances. Over here for health. And up top here for the love corner. Okay, Cappies, let's do it. Let's get to work. Well. I'm going to start with health. The little booger here and just get him out of the way. No big deal. Just small little energy. We want to spend time on the big ones here for you guys. And that's what they made very clear to me here today. So let's start with health corner. Health corner shows you guys have the key to this. You guys can blow this up, whether this is blowing up in a good way or blowing it up, hey, this can really go south if you don't handle this, right? So the card, it's the Two of Pentacles, but in the deck they wanted me to use for you guys, which is my bird deck, it shows a little bird holding a key, but this is a pin, actually, to a grenade that, he thinks he's holding a key, but really it's a pin. So basically Spirit is saying, hey, this whole thing can blow up. And maybe for some of you, your health situation does need a blow up. Maybe you need a radical shakeup here of some form that has to happen. Hey, let's just blow up this whole health corner and start it over. Something like that. And for others of you, this may be, hey, needing to tiptoe around this and just handle things very cautionary, very lightly, walking on eggshells a little bit in the health corner. The next thing they show here is my Eight of Wands, which is the fastest card in the tarot deck. In this deck they wanted me to use for you, it's kind of a weird energy, but it still means quick. It's just, it's quick once you get moving with it. It's just like, I don't know, it feels like it's not quick now, but it's until you make it quick. Like basically, I guess what they're trying to say, if you read between the lines, is that once you decide on what this is you're trying to do, you can make great change very quickly. This is not going to take long. This is not going to take you, a year to see the results. This is going to be very fast return on your investment. So because of that, I think Spirit is kind of encouraging you to go ahead and do this. Just maybe do it safely. Okay, so there we go. Health Corner. Okay, let's do work and finance. I'm going to save that love for last, guys. Kind of figuring out where to supplant the moon cycles here too. Down here in finance, they talk about a little bit of late energy, so that'll be full moon, getting stuff out of finance. All right, I see the path. I see the course of action. Let's go into work, guys. The first thing they talk about is the High Priestess card coming in inverted. This is basically saying knowledge that you're not getting. There's something going on behind the scenes that you're not seeing here in the work corner. And work corner is a big place. This is work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, what you spend your time doing now retired that you used to spend it at work. Also entrepreneurship, learning new things, hobbies and interests, as you can see. Super big corner, a lot of different things, but those are the moving parts. So whatever of those applies to you, that's what they're talking about here. So it can be about the need to learn new things too. Going back to college, hey, you don't have the skills to do this with work, something like that. It's like you got to do something first before you do the after. So there we go. It's kind of like a prerequisite of some form. They are letting you know that all that glitters is not gold. So be careful of great opportunities that pop up in October in the work corner. They might just look good and not actually be good for you, if you know what I mean. So that's what they mean by all that glitters is not gold. Yeah, it looks great on the surface, but the underlying parts of it, job descriptions, for example, they usually try to make it sound like a good job. And then when you get to do it, then they ask you to do all these things. Hey, hold on, that wasn't in the description. I didn't know I'll sign up for that. That's the kind of energy that comes up here for work. So just be on the lookout for it. Next, we have the star card coming in here. So this is wish fulfillment. A lot of you are getting this done, getting good hopes and dreams going on here. It's a nice card about destiny too. A lot of stuff for a lot of your work here, guys, is happening the way it's supposed to. It is major momentum in the work corner. So I would encourage you to get this information, whatever this is that they're referring to that you don't have now, to get it, to gain access to it. That's what helps us make great decisions. And then they show what happens next is a new journey. A lot of you, new journey, that is probably the light at the end of the tunnel, is like, hey, once I get this information, once I get this accreditation, once I get the college course, whatever I need before here, there's a lot of momentum behind it, and I can do this new journey, and Spirit is giving you the full green light to do it. They're just saying, hey, just make sure that it's not an all that glitters situation. Make sure that it actually is gold and doesn't just look like gold. So pretty big theme coming in for work, guys. Excuse me. Now when we drop down to finance, I like to read these together because for most people, work and finance is very intertwined. That's usually how you make your money. And this is where we're also going to talk about your moon cycles because they talked about late in October here. This is a financial message mostly for late October. They talk about a little bit of financial, that hurt. Wasn't expecting that in this month of October. More than likely the secondary half of the month. It makes me feel full moon. But this is something that maybe you have to pay for that you didn't want to pay for. Oh, I wasn't expecting to buy a new vacuum now. Maybe the vacuum poops out on you, right? Something like that. Oh, I wasn't expecting to repair the car alternator right now. Something like that comes up financially that you guys are probably having to pay for that you don't want to pay for, more than likely later in the month. And that is my targeting here. They're saying that a lot of you kind of have a weird eyeball on this. It's something that you kind of like knew was coming. For a lot of you, that you knew that you're on borrowed time, for example, with something. Let's say, the car alternator was acting up, like you were getting flashing lights and low battery charges or something like that. And you kind of had a feeling that this day was coming. Maybe the battery, maybe a bad example, but you get the idea. That the gist is what I'm trying to get you to understand here. So a lot of you have kind of seen this happen, and here it comes. So here, get ready for it. Now, what they show here is good return on investment, though. So a lot of you, whatever you're going to do here financially to replace this vacuum or replace this car part or fill in the blank, what you're going to do financially that you didn't want to do, make it a good investment, because that's what they show. So this makes me feel actually like, if we're going back to the vacuum example, for some reason I like that more than the car one, so I'm going to run with the vacuum. Buy a good vacuum. Buy one that's going to last you. Don't just buy the cheapest thing that's going to last another year or two and then just poop out on you like the old one did or something like that. So this is saying, you kind of can have permission here to open up the pocketbook on this. So spend on something here that is going to give you a good investment, that is going to last you a while. That is the energy that is coming in here financially. And how this relates to the moon cycles, this has fallen into the full moon energy when we want to get stuff out of our life. Just like getting rid of that old vacuum, get it out of our life altogether. Maybe for the car, maybe it's time to sell the car. Keep all that stuff in mind for full moon energy. We have the full moon energy entering early in October. It's the one from September that's still lurking in. So at the beginning of the month when most people are viewing these videos is a great time to get things out of your life, to get rid of people. Doesn't matter what it is. Get rid of old jobs, get rid of old habits, purge those. All that's full moon energy. And it's going to happen again even stronger late in October. The 28th actually is the big date for that. That is our big full moon. But anywhere toward the end of October or beginning October is really great for full moon. Get it out. And of course, the new moon happens on the 14th, same exact date as last month. So right smack dab in the middle of the month. Middle of the month is the best time to bring new things in and start new things, guys. And if any of this confuses you or you just want a little graphic aid, a little illustration, whether you're trying to bring in new love and manifest new things with work or whatever it is you're doing, check out the Moon Cycle Cheat Sheet. It is on my website. I update it every single month for you guys. It is free. It is on my Talking About page. Gives you a little aid to help you understand how to push these things in and out of your life to make positive changes just occur a little bit smoother. That is what it's all about. So let's get on to your Love Corner time. And speaking of Love Corner, you know, we all love our pets. I just dropped the Pet Connect reading last month. It is a brand new service on the website, scottsagent.com. Our pets leave an imprint on our hearts. We love them to death, and I get asked about it all the time. I just finally put together a Pet Connect promo video. It is on YouTube. It is on my website. You can find it just about anywhere, guys. And it shows you in detail how this came about and the great ways that you can take advantage of that introductory price for the Pet Connect, because it's not going to be around forever. That's that Love Corner. And good time for me to remind you too that the Love Corner, it's a big place because anybody close to your heart can come in here. I know we're going to do a Messages from Heaven after this, your extra reading, and that is for sure somebody close to your heart. But here, anybody close to your heart can come in here. So this could be talking about close friendships. It doesn't necessarily be talking about your love and relationships. What if you're single? What if you have nothing going on with love? Well, everybody's got a Love Corner. Okay, so it's your anybody close to your heart is what they talk about here. So the first thing that comes up for Love Corner stuff is judgment. Judgment. A lot of you have made major decisions in this corner, this section of your life, and a lot of you are looking at this as kind of like a sell type situation. Maybe some of you have sold something that you really loved, like an object. Maybe some of you have gotten rid of somebody that you once really loved and it just ran out of time. Hey, it expired. It's not good no more. It's got to go. Something like that. But they show making major decisions on something and a little bit of that selling energy, in fact. So it makes me feel like kind of major decision towards removal, like subtraction instead of addition. There's another energy coming up in here with clean it up. So for some of you who have not done something like that, but you feel like you need to, you know, you feel deep in your heart, oh, I do got to get rid of fill in the blank, something here. Spirit here saying you got to do a little bit of fall cleaning here, a little bit of spring cleaning except in the fall. So we need a little dust and a little mop up. Something here needs to be cleaned, which implies that something's a little dirty. Okay, so we need to address that here in October, guys. And here is why. Because they want you to get out of this war and chaos phase. Whatever crazy is going on in your love corner, maybe you're just dating people and it's just like no good for you. You keep meeting like terrible people or something like that. They're trying to get you to clean this up here, guys. And hopefully I've given you enough context that you can make this make sense to you. Because of course, this is a general reading. And if you're looking for messages that are personal, private, 100% specific to you, I offer a wide variety of those services on my website, scottsagent.com, and that is more about you instead of all of your signed friends here. So they're talking mostly about just getting to a place here where the war and chaos is just out of the way, and you can kind of go back to kind of regular relaxation mode. And it doesn't have to be a state of war, a state of alertness, like, oh gosh, what is going to happen here? Maybe a little bit of stress, anxiety, and so forth. So very important one there. Now let's get into, man, we got a lot of stuff to do still. I'm going to grab the Rune Stone while I'm looking at all these cards. So they're already mixed up too, but I'll give them one more swirl. Here we go. And the Rune Stone for my great Cappies is going to be this guy right here. And this is the Rune Stone of fertility. Fertility. That's an interesting thing to come up. Definitely wasn't expected from my side of the table. But let's go through the corners here and see what this could be. Fertility here in the financial corner is about getting this good return on investment, making sure you're spending money on something that is fertile, something that will last. Fertility up here in the work corner is this information, whatever is keeping you from where you're trying to go with this new journey. They're trying to get you to a place of fertility, and they're giving you good advice there with all that glitters. Fertility over here in health. They want you to get to a place of fertility, and you can get there very, very quickly. That's the good news. And then, of course, for love, fertility is getting to a place where you can rest and relax and put the swords down and stop the war and chaos. So that will be a very fertile ground. They're basically saying October is the playing field for you to do these things. Whatever, maybe just one corner means a lot to you in a general reading. Even if one of these corners is like a dead hit for you, I would say that is what you need to pay attention to. Is probably the way Spirit was weaving this web for my great Cappies. So there we go. There's the Rune Stone for fertility. Let's get into your chemistry tracking, guys. Chemistry tracking, that's on my sheet right here. I've already done the card work on it. I do that basically to save us a bunch of time. This would be 10 minutes longer if I had to reshuffle right now. So let's just talk about my notes, because that's basically given us the clue here. So Capricorns, they gave you weak connection, very interestingly, with other Capricorns. If you have another Capricorn in your life, you guys might be butting heads or not seeing eye to eye, or just the energy's a little off. A little bit of Cappy on Cappy crime, if you will, so to speak. So it's just a little segmented in the month of October. Now, Capricorn, you're very strong vibration with Virgo, in fact. And I am a Virgo. It is another earth sign of Capricorn. And they're just letting you know here that great connectivity, great friendships, or whoever that you have in your life that is a Virgo, it's just 2 thumbs up, really good connective. And then for example, my Capricorns that are single might want to look out for Virgo, very strong connection there. So there's your chemistry tracking, guys. Very good. Now let's get into your extra spread, which is the messages from heaven. I do know that this is from a male. I did that ahead of time. I'm going to reshuffle these cards very quickly and cut away to do so, because I use just a little bit too much, and I like to take the messages from heaven very, very seriously. Available as a personal product on the website too, scottsagent.com. I'll be right back. Okay, Cappies, I am back. Just reshuffled. Actually, just ritual cut it too. Gonna run it here. Messages from heaven. That's the card to come in on describing them. And then this is their story, or their verbiage, so to speak. The messages from heaven is also, like I said, available as a personal private product. And this is going to be a much shorter version of that. When you order messages from heaven for yourself, it is much more descriptive. That we go through kind of the different questioning and different, like, well, what are you spending your time doing now? Who are you with? That kind of thing. This is just a very short message, but here we go. They're coming in here as somebody who's younger. Okay, Cappies, if you have a young male who has passed, somebody on the younger side, they don't tell me ages here, but this is my kids card, my immaturity card. So it's basically making me feel like maybe 25 and younger. That's probably a safe assumption. If you don't have any deceased male who is of that age range, who passed when they were that young, probably not a message for you. But for those who are, this message could very well be, because that's how they came in. That is how this young male came in. He talks about how, if it's for you, if it's basically what I just said, like, you're seeing this very clearly. If you know this is me, this is me. Like, you're right. Okay, this is me. Feeling it very deeply. I almost feel like this is, well, I was going to say fire sign, but it could also be earth sign, so I don't want to get too tight with that. But anyway, basically saying that you are aware of this. You are aware of this connection. Maybe you're aware that I'm still around, that I'm still, giving you signs and signals, something like that. They show next that there is they're talking about the growth. They're talking about the growth. Almost like they want to make sure that you are growing, I feel like, too, because it makes me feel like a lot of you maybe just time stopped, things stopped, feeling worth it, feeling like you had a future, something like that. They want to make sure that you keep growing. They show a hesitation toward growing. Next, we show the energy of being together. They really want to talk, I'm assuming, about a memory. In fact, I'm going to pull 2 cards off of that, because it is a major arcana card, the Hermit. Talking about being together through really rough times. It makes me feel like this was almost something that was due to happen or supposed to happen, maybe something like a sickness or something like that, or a disease. Being together through the rough times, rough messaging. They also show they really want you to kind of think of new ideas instead of the old. They want you to kind of reimagine your mental approach toward this. They really want you to imagine what life can be. Whatever it is that your dreams are, really to follow your dreams in a very large way and to chase your goals, because goals are the things that, what's that country song say, that they do not chase you back. You can chase them, they do not chase you back. So they show very slow energy too. So it just feels very slow and very a little bit malignant, like we're not getting a lot of growth here, a little slow action going on. And that's what they're trying to say. You got to get out of this funk. You got to get out of this fog. Imagine all the wonderful things that life can still be. It doesn't have to be, this slumpy rain cloud energy. We gotta see through this, and that's what they show. They want you to grow. They want you to grow no matter what. Very much, very loving message, but also very direct and very actually mature for a young energy. So there we go. There is the messages from heaven, guys. As a male coming through there, a young male in this case. You never know what you're going to get. And now we're going to get into the very final segment of your reading. It is called Homily. It is a little spiritual pep talk. Hope you guys enjoy that. Hey guys, Scott Sagent here, and it is time for your Homily 2023 October edition. Today I want to talk a little bit about a realization I had, kind of an inspiration through a tarot card, and it was the Three of Wands. I'm going to float a little picture of it up on the screen here for you so you can see what I'm talking about. This is the Three of Wands from what I call my brown tarot deck. I think it depicts the picture very well, and I'm doing the background here to try to match the energy of that as well here for you too. So anyway, this realization I had is that this woman looking out on the edge of a waterway, maybe in some decks it's a cliff, basically the end of your property, looking out to what chapter is next. It also has to do about chapters in your life. So what is coming next for you? And it made me realize how many people actually don't do things. We wait until the right time to do things. Well, as Buddha says, the mistake that people make is thinking that they have time. And, I terribly misquoted that, I'm sure, but you get the gist, is people put things off and then they end up never doing it. If you go and ask anybody who's successful in a business or who's, gone back to school to take accreditation for a credit course or something they need for college or a master's degree or something like that, anybody who's gone back and done the work, if you go and ask them, hey, do you wish you would have waited to do that a little bit longer? Or do you wish you would have done it earlier? They're either going to tell you that they're happy they did it when they did it, or they wish they would have done it earlier. There's almost nobody who says, oh, you know what? I wish I would have taken that dream trip to Europe, a few years after the fact that I did it. No, most people would have liked to have gone earlier. Maybe they found something they really liked there and would really like to go back and see again. Well, that never happens if you wait for too long, right? And it's just like another silly example, of course, but it's I just discovered a new restaurant nearby my house that I really like. It's actually like a Oriental buffet, and in my head I'm just thinking, all the buffets are the same. They're similar. They're almost all, a little bit different here, a little bit different there, but overall it's the same idea, same concept. Well, I went and I tried this place, and it blows everything else away that I've ever eaten in the area. So this is something, for example, if I had discovered this Oriental buffet the last couple weeks of when I was living in the town that I'm living in, I would have been very upset. I'd be like, oh man, I could have been coming here this whole time. I could have been coming here for years. And instead, I missed this opportunity because I just waited forever. And it's just like so many people want to start businesses and never do. I know somebody who wanted to make candles. They go and buy all the supplies, have everything ready to make a candle business, and then never made a single candle. And it's just like, why? Why wait for the opportune time that may or may not ever come? And just like this card is showing this woman looking out onto the, expanse of the horizon, what is next? Well, what next for you is what's important for you. And the only thing that I would try to encourage from this homily is to not wait for too long, because you never know the timing. The timing sometimes has to be better than it does. If the timing is way off, of course, that's a different deal. But for most people, the timing's either they're unsure of it for other reasons. Maybe they're holding themselves back. That's what happens most of the time. We are our own worst enemies at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, you also need to take risks. You need to do things while you still have the time. And the time is now if you're thinking about it right now. And that's even further reiteration of why you need to go and do things somewhat presently. You don't want to wait for too long. You never know what's going to change between now and then. If you want to go start a business, go start a business. If you want to go start a gym membership or go start a new health kick, go do that. Don't just wait around forever to do it. Wait for the right time. Sometimes you just got to take that little leap of faith. And of course, it is never too late in life. But remember that it is also never too early. So I hope you've enjoyed your homily. I hope you guys have enjoyed the reading as well. Please remember to like and subscribe. I do these every single month. Take care. Have a great October. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.